What if the Indian flag you see today never existed? What if August 15th was just another ordinary day? No Independence Day parade, no tricolor on Red Fort, no Jai Hind? To understand this what if, we need one assumption, that the freedom movement of the 1940s collapses. No Quit India movement gaining momentum. No global pressure on Britain after World War II. The British Empire holds on to its most prized colony. Sounds unlikely? Maybe. But Britain had done it before. Crushed rebellions in 1857, delayed reforms for decades. If a few key moments had gone differently, if Subhash Chandra Bose's INA had succeeded earlier, or if Britain's post-war economy hadn't collapsed, colonial rule could have dragged on for decades more. In this timeline, India remains a British colony well into the late 20th century. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Colonial economies are built for extraction, not growth. Under British rule, India's share of world GDP had already crashed from around 24% in 1700 to just 4% by 1947, a brutal direct result of nearly 2 centuries of colonial trade policy. If this system continued, there would be no 5-year plans, no public sector steel plants, no green revolution funded by an Indian government investing in Indian farmers. Resources would keep flowing outward. Raw cotton, tea, and jute shipped to British factories, finished goods sold back to Indians at a markup. Bangalore's IT boom of the 1990s? It only happened because independent India invested in IITs and engineering colleges starting in the 1950s. Without that, a colonial administration had little incentive to build an Indian-led tech workforce. There's no emphasis, no Bollywood film industry standing tall on the global stage, no Indian billionaires topping world rich lists. The wealth generated in India stays designed to serve London, not Lucknow. Democracy, as Indians know, it wouldn't exist either. The right to vote, freedom of speech, and an Indian written constitution. All of this stems directly from independence in 1947 and the constitution adopted in 1950. Under continued British rule, decisions about reservations, language policy, and civil rights wouldn't be debated in an Indian parliament. They'd be decided in Whitehall by people who had never set foot in a Bihar village or a Chennai street. And here's something many people don't consider. The very idea of Indian identity as one nation might look different. Independence forced diverse states, languages, and religions to unite under one constitution and one shared dream. Continued colonial division and rule policies could have deepened the fractures that already existed, possibly leading to even more fragmented partitions beyond just India and Pakistan. On the world stage, independent India became a founding voice of the non-aligned movement, refusing to pick sides in the Cold War and carving its own diplomatic path. A colonized India has no seat at that table, no Indian Prime Minister addressing the UN, no Indian astronauts, no ISRO landing on the moon's South Pole in 2023. A mission run entirely by Indian scientists, funded by Indian taxpayers, and celebrated as a national achievement. Instead, any scientific or military achievements happen under a British flag, credited to the empire, not to India. Here's an interesting twist though. By the 1960s, almost every European colony across Africa and Asia was gaining independence anyway. The British Empire was crumbling everywhere, not just in India. So even in this alternate timeline, India likely still becomes free eventually, just decades later, and possibly through a much bloodier struggle, since prolonged suppression tends to build more radical resistance, not less. The India we'd inherit in, say, the 1970s or 80s might be poorer, more fragmented, and far behind the development curve it actually achieved. So the next time you scroll through your phone, built on software written by Indian engineers, paid for in rupees you earned in a country that controls its own economy, remember that none of this was guaranteed. August 15th, 1947 wasn't just a date. It was the difference between a nation writing its own story and a nation living inside someone else's. What do you think? Would India have eventually broken free anyway? Or would we still be living under colonial rule today? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this What If, hit subscribe. Because next time, we're asking an even bigger question. Till then, keep imagining what if.